So for this question, the first thing you need to notice is that you have a function of x. You have 5x squared being multiplied by another function of x. So you have a variable times another variable. So in that case, what we need to do is go through our product rule. So our first function is going to be 5x squared. Second function is e to the 3x. So first function's derivative is 10x. Second function's derivative will be e to the 3x. And then we multiply by the derivative of the exponent, which will just be times 3. So then we plug this into the product rule. So we take our second function times the derivative of the first. So we have y prime equals e to the 3x times 10x plus, and then the other diagonal, 5x squared times e to the 3x times 3. Now, one thing to note, because all of these are just one term, you don't have an addition or subtraction sign in between them, because of that, you technically do not need parentheses around each of those. So like here, I could have just put a dot 10x, and here I have the dot e to the 3x times 3. All right, so once we get it plugged into the product rule, then our next step is that we either have to distribute and FOIL things out, or we ask ourselves, is there a GCF? And the GCF here is going to be the route that we're going to take, because when we look at the product rule, remember the plus sign separates us into two separate terms. And so when we look here, we see that in both of these boxes, we have an e to the 3x as a GCF, and we also see that we have an x and an x squared common, so we can take out an x. Remember, the GCF is always the smallest exponent that you have. So if it's x to the first versus x squared, we're taking out the x to the first. And then the 5 and the 10 have a common 5 as well. So our GCF will be 5x e to the 3x. So we'll divide that by 5x e to the 3x, and then divide here by 5x e to the 3x. So then when you look here, the e to the 3x's cancel out, the x and x cancel, and you are left with 10 over 5, or just 2. And then we have plus, so for our second term, our 5's are canceling out, our e to the 3x's are canceling out, the x squared over x will just give us a plus x to the first power, and then we still have a 3. So we'll have 3x left over from the second term. All right, now when you look at the bracket quantity, you see that there is nothing to combine. So you will just leave that as 5x e to the 3x, and then parentheses, you can write it as 3x plus 2 or 2 plus 3x.